Hey, it's Lights Camera Jackson. It's Sunday, February 18, 2024. Welcome to LCJ Live. I was up late last night. I was up till 1 a.m. Eastern because of the Annie Awards. The Annie Awards were last night. They live stream from California. They start usually at 10 p.m. Eastern and they go pretty long. But it's a good show because it honors animation, and everybody who works hard in animation is there supporting each other, supporting this industry. It was a 3-hour show last night, and it was a good show. And some of the big winners last night included Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse winning 7 awards, including Best Animated Feature. Robot Dreams won Best Independent Animated Feature. Thrilled about that. My favorite animated movie of 2023. A couple awards went to Nimona, including Best Voice Performance in a motion picture for Chloe Grace Moretz. The Boy and the Heron received an honor or two. And for TV, Blue Eye Samurai dominated, along with Marvel's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Some other shows as well. Some special honors, special appearances. Jack Black made an appearance virtually. And it was a fun show. It was a good show. Congratulations to the entire Annie Awards team. This is very interesting because right now, the BAFTAs, the British version of the Academy Awards, is going on as we speak. And in a little bit, after we get through box office, I'm going to go to social media, and we may get some winner results of the BAFTAs live here on LCJ Live to talk about. Now, when it comes to Best Animated Feature, the Golden Globe went to The Boy and the Heron. The Critics' Choice Award went to Spider-Verse. The Annie last night went to Spider-Verse. Could Boy and the Heron win the BAFTA today? Or is it going to go to Spider-Verse? The other nominees today are Elemental and Chicken Run Dawn of the Nugget. Chicken Run not nominated for the Oscar. Robot Dreams is nominated for the Oscar, along with Nimona. So we'll see. And Elemental and Boy and the Heron and Spider-Verse. So we'll see what happens. We could get some big BAFTA results here in just moments. But we have to start with the box office, and I've got Rasta Mater here with me. Bob Marley, One Love, number 1 at the box office, $27.7 million Friday, Saturday, today. So far, it has made $45.6 million, including that huge $14 million Valentine's Day. When we get through tomorrow night, Paramount is estimating $51 million. Now, that 27.7 is a little lower than what Mean Girls opened to with the 3-day of 28.6. But Paramount could round this up a little higher, could get this higher to Mean Girls. So Mean Girls technically still with the biggest 3-day open of the year. But this Bob Marley number is phenomenal. Bigger than most people expected, including Paramount, I think, especially that $14 million Valentine's Day. I did the double. I saw Madam Web first on Wednesday. There were like 8 people at the showing. Then I saw Nighttime Bob Marley One Love. Close to 100 people at my showing of Bob Marley One Love. It was packed. The audience loved it. I really like the second half of the film. I don't love the first half, but the performances, Kingsley Ben-Adir. And I gotta say, if Paramount had put this up for awards consideration, Lashana Lynch would be in the supporting actress ballot for the Oscars and other award shows. So, and maybe Kingsley Ben-Adir for Best Actor. Paramount missed out on a huge opportunity to give this movie some awards love, but it's getting box office love, huge love. Mike Sargent and I review Bob Marley One Love on a new episode of the Too Fast, Two Films podcast, coming soon to toofast2films.com. We also name our favorite music biopics of all time. If you're joining me here on LCJ Live, send in your questions, your comments, and like I said, coming up, maybe some live BAFTA results. Madam Web, number 2 with $15.2 million for the 3-day. That's a little better than how things were looking yesterday. Total so far, $23.4 million from Wednesday to today. When you look at what it's going to make tomorrow, Sony estimating $26 million. That is terrible. Just terrible. Worse than Morbius, which had a 3-day start of 39, totaled 74. You look at Birds of Prey, which only made $84 million total. The Marvels also only made $84 million total, and this is going to do worse than that. It's a terrible film. It is just boring. It is weird. Just the way the decisions made in terms of the story. The performances are not very good. It tries to jam in all these Spider-Man references and connections, which just don't work. and it's goofy, it's silly in a bad way. It's a mess. It's a mess. And I was afraid of that, and it's too bad. But another clunker. So many of this year's movies have been clunkers so far. Madam Web is a bad movie. Mean Girls is a bad movie. Founders Day, which was the first film I saw this year, is not a very good film. Argyle is a terrible film. The Beekeeper is a terrible film. And some leftovers from last year, like Poor Things. And Anyone But You is not very good. And I didn't love Wonka. A lot of bad movies in theaters right now. That's why I recommend Bob Marley, One Love, and I recommend a few other things. We'll get to them here in just a little bit. Your third place movie is Argyle with 4.7 million. Not a huge drop from last weekend. It's at 36.5. I think it'll get to 40 million for Universal. It will not get to 45 or 50. Next up, I believe we go to Migration, which added 3.8 million. It's at 114.8. It's going to make another couple million tomorrow with kids off of school for President's Day. And my goodness, did families need something to see this weekend? I was talking with a theater GM the other night and going, why didn't anybody put anything new out for families for this holiday week? It would crush it. And Migration, in its 9th weekend, is still making serious cash. And it'll try to get to 120. I think it will. And Wonka also added 3.4 million. It's at 209.8. Wonka has officially passed Charlie and the Chocolate Factory from 2005, which made 206.5 for Warner Brothers. Now, that's not adjusted for inflation. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory made significantly more when you do that, but still a bigger number than that. And Wonka has now crossed $600 million globally. What a hit. Also with 3.4 million this weekend is part 2 of season 4 of The Chosen from Fathom Events. It's at 4.2 million total. The first part, the first few episodes from a few weeks ago, made a little more, right? It was close about 6 million, 7.4 for the 4-day for that. So a little less for part 2, but I think maybe some people will be waiting a little bit, and then we'll come back for part 3, the final few episodes, which open in theaters, I believe, on Leap Day, February 29. Next up, The Beekeeper added 3.3 million. It's at $60 million for Amazon MGM. Then you've got, I think Anyone But You is next. 2.4 million. It's at 84.7. Anyone But You had a good Valentine's Day. Did some decent money on Valentine's Day. It's now at 84.7. It'll pass 85. Could it make a run at $90 million for Sony? Maybe it will try. Lisa Frankenstein dropped from 2nd to 9th this weekend. Wow. $2 million for Lisa Frankenstein. It's at 7.7. It's going to get to the 9.4, I think, that Tully made, the last Focus Features Diablo Cody collaboration from 2018. I think it'll get to 9.4. It'll try to get to 10 million total, but will not make much more than that. And then you've got a movie called Land of Bad, which I saw several weeks ago. It was a Regal Monday mystery movie. And Land of Bad had a decent open this weekend of $1.8 million in not a lot of theaters. And it's a good movie. It's a solid action thriller, especially the performance from Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe is always an interesting actor. And you look at the last few years, Boy Erased he was good in, but really Unhinged and The Greatest Beer Run Ever, to me, 2 performances he should have been Oscar nominated in the Best Supporting Actor category for, especially Beer Run. He was the best, one of the best war correspondent photojournalists ever put on film. Russell Crowe's performance in that, and he's very good in Land of Bad. He's dynamic. He makes the movie really interesting. Liam Hemsworth, so-so lead role. Milo Ventimiglia's in it a little bit, but it's really Russell Crowe, and the fans went out to see Land of Bad. Some other movies that made a little money this weekend. Mean Girls added 1.1. It's at 71. American Fiction, 923,000. It's at about 19 million. Poor Things, 873,000. Poor Things could do very well today at the BAFTAs. It's up to $32 million, just a couple million away from what The Favorite did for Searchlight and Yorgos Lanthimos and Emma Stone in 2018. And then the Oscar-nominated short films opened in 365 theaters this weekend, made $765,000. Not bad. Animated shorts, which are very good. It's 5 animated shorts that are nominated, plus 2 highly commended shorts. I've seen them all. They're great. The live-action shorts and the documentary shorts are playing at a theater near you, so check your listings to check out the Oscar-nominated short films in theaters before the Academy Awards on Sunday, March 10th, and you fill out your ballot like this one I got at the theater the other day from Focus Features. Focus Features has their own Oscar ballot this year. It's pretty cool. And then on the back, you get the whole lineup of many of the films that Focus Features is releasing this year. Focus, of course, the studio behind my number one movie of 2023, The Holdovers, which we'll see how that does today at the BAFTAs. Before we get to potential live BAFTA results, I want to mention some movies that are coming out this week in theaters. Number one, the re-release of Tenet. Number two, a new Demon Slayer animated movie that could do pretty well. Then you've got Drive Away Dolls from Focus, which has been promoted heavily for months and months. It's been delayed a couple times, and is finally coming out this weekend from Ethan Coen and a star-studded cast, which includes Oscar nominee this year Coleman Domingo, and Matt Damon has a role in Drive Away Dolls. And then you've got Ordinary Angels, which I have seen, I believe on Tuesday. I am finally allowed to share my thoughts on Ordinary Angels, starring Hilary Swank and Alan Ritchson. Faith-based true story drama that opens this coming weekend and could do well. Lionsgate hopes it has the same box office impact that Jesus Revolution with Kelsey Grammer had this exact coming weekend last year, and that did pretty well. So we'll see how Ordinary Angels does. Also, They Shot the Piano Player, a very good animated film, animated music documentary featuring the lead voice of Jeff Goldblum as our narrator. I spoke with the directors of They Shot the Piano Player a few months ago when it was given a qualifying run by Sony Classics before this official open Friday, and that conversation is at lcj.podbean.com. Fernando Trueba, Javier Mariscal, it's a great conversation with them about a fascinating movie, They Shot the Piano Player. If it's playing near you, go see it. And speaking of animation, Stop Motion opens Friday from IFC and Shudder. It's a new horror movie that's all about stop motion animation, and it's a wild movie. And I spoke with director Robert Morgan. That brand new Animation Scoop Q&A and LCJ Q&A podcast episode is available tomorrow at animationscoop.com and lcj.podbean.com. Want a preview clip of the conversation, including a surprise guest appearance? Go to YouTube if you're watching this on YouTube, youtube.com/lightscamerajackson, and my website, lights-camera-jackson.com, and social media, Twitter at LCJ Reviews, Instagram at lightscamjackson. It's got the 90-second video clip of our conversation. Okay, I'm going to go to social media right now and see if there are results right now for the BAFTAs, which is going on in England as we speak. The red carpet, I saw some photos as I was getting ready for this LCJ Live episode. I was looking here. Interesting breaking news headline, Daytona 500 pushed to Monday because of weather. Wow. This is according to Deadline, breaking right now. NASCAR has postponed the season-opening Daytona 500 until Monday, citing 2 days of rain at the Daytona International Speedway. Wow. A lot of the Fox animated shows come back tonight. Simpsons at 8. Then we've got, I think, Great North, right? Not Bob's Burgers. I'm missing something. Grimsburg's at 9:30. I know that. The 4 animated shows, it's not Family Guy because that comes back on Wednesday, March 6th. New time, Krapopolis. Okay, so tonight it's The Simpsons at 8, Krapopolis at 8:30, The Great North at 9, and Grimsburg returns with a very clever second episode, really fun, at 9:30. So animation domination tonight on Fox is back, but it will not have the Daytona 500 lead in because the Daytona 500 has been pushed to Monday. They're looking at Monday morning, and the Daytona 500 was going to start today at 5 o'clock. The last time the Daytona 500 was postponed a full day was in 2012. Again, breaking right now, according to Deadline. All right. I hope we get some BAFTA results. Maybe we're a little early. We might be a bit early. All right, breaking from Variety, BAFTA host David Tennant recruits Michael Sheen, Tom Hiddleston, and Judi Dench for staged-inspired monologue. Okay, so the BAFTA monologue has occurred, and now I'm sure we're going to get to some awards results here in a moment. As we wait for those, and we'll stay on for a couple minutes, and then I'll provide more on social media throughout the day. When we're back here next Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern on LCJ Live, you know what it'll be? It'll be the day after the SAG Awards. The SAG Awards are this Saturday night at 8 o'clock on Netflix. Netflix for the first time has the SAG Awards, and I'll probably do some predictions during the week. but you're going to see possibly a Barbenheimer run. Barbie or Oppenheimer gets Best Ensemble. Cillian Murphy, maybe, or Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers. Best Actress, maybe it's Margot Robbie for Barbie. Maybe Ryan Gosling wins Supporting Actor over Robert Downey Jr. And Supporting Actress, Divine Joy Randolph. Could Emily Blunt win today at the BAFTAs? That would be interesting. Stunt Ensemble could go to John Wick, but could Barbie actually win Stunt Ensemble? It'll be really interesting. So I'll give some analysis on the SAG Awards later this week, and when we're back here next Sunday, we'll talk about the SAG Awards, the impact of that, and we will preview how Dune Part 2 is going to do in theaters as it kicks off the month of March, and we'll see how Ordinary Angels does and Drive Away Dolls and some of these other movies. And I believe, are the Independent Spirit Awards next Sunday as well? I think they are. So yes, they are next Sunday, the 25th. So we'll talk about the Independent Spirit Awards as well and where we are in the awards season. We're just a few weeks away, 3 weeks away from the Academy Awards. Wow, just 3 weeks away. Award season is almost over, folks. I know we are all looking ahead. We want to look ahead to these big movies coming like Dune and Kung Fu Panda 4. But for a little bit longer, we got to talk about last year's movies still. So that's what we're going to do here for just a little bit longer. I will give you, because I think we're still too early on some results, I will give you my thoughts on the BAFTA winners as they happen, with some updates as they come in today across social media, and the website, lights-camera-jackson.com, has more. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching today's episode of LCJ Live. I appreciate it, and I will see you next Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern for more. Take care, everybody. Have a great day, and go see some movies. Bye-bye.